welcome back, and welcome if you're new. If you haven't noticed by now, probably in the title or the description, whatever, this is a fall recipe collab vlog. I was going to try to combine like some day in the life and stuff, but I'm just going to exclusively put my recipe up because I don't want to stress about this. I need to make sure I have editing time, all that. Anyways, if you're linking over from any of the other ladies that are participating in this, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you will subscribe. Please drop a comment down below and introduce yourself, and also let me know whose channel you're coming over from. So, long story short, I just decided a few weeks ago I wanted to try to do like a fall recipe collaboration. So on a few different social media platforms, I reached out to a few people, and then I had others email me as well. So we got us a small group together. I'm so excited, hoping that this will help us each grow our audiences and also just kind of engage with one another, make a few YouTube friends. So I'm going to have all the ladies' videos on one playlist I'm going to create, and I will have that link down in the comments and also in the description. Please go check out some of their videos, or all if you've got that kind of time. Let them know you're coming over from my channel, and again, if you're from their channel, please say hi in the comments. I'd love to see like how far this goes, how we connected with one another. I think we have, I know I'm in Louisiana. I think I have a few people that are like from Canada, some from the Midwest, just a lot of different ones. So on that note, if you are new here, just a little quick summary about myself. My name is Jessica. I am 26 years old, live in Louisiana. We have a 2-year-old little girl. My husband and I have been married for almost 10 years. We live in a mobile home. It's a small mobile home. I share all things homemaking, recipes, some motherhood. I feel like the majority of what I share is like day in the life content, and then cooking and cleaning. That's my life here. So if that's your thing, I hope you stick around and subscribe. Random little tidbit here, we are not that far away from all the upcoming holidays. I'm going to be sharing a lot of like tips and recipes, and also if all goes well, this is going to be my first year doing Vlogmas. So if that is your thing, be sure you hit the notification bell where you'll be notified if I have any surprise uploads or anything. I upload every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I'm going to quit gabbing where y'all can just get on into this recipe. I'm not cooking right this minute, but I will show you the recipe. I was going to do like a dessert too, but I just made a dessert recipe in probably, yeah, the vlog before this. So I done my favorite fall recipe, which is a pumpkin cream cheese muffin. I've been doing it for 6 years. It is the best recipe I have found. If you want a fall recipe that's one of my favorites, you can go to that last video and look at that. But for this one, we're just going to do like a dinner recipe because I felt like I didn't want to push myself, and I didn't want to make my vlog so long that no one had time to watch everybody else's. So I guess let's get started cooking here in a little bit. And I will also, I should also mention, this is not my recipe. This is one that I found on Pinterest years ago, and I think the last time I cooked it, I tweaked it to my liking. I'll have it linked in the description. It's from Pinterest. It's very easy. It's delicious. So the recipe I'm doing is called garlic honey pecan chicken. I just always call it honey pecan chicken. Very, very easy to do. This is what you'll need. So over here I have, it calls for 4 chicken breasts. I only have 3. By the way, I'm going to link this recipe in the description, and I'll just show y'all how I kind of change a few things. But I only have 3 chicken breasts, but I cut them up into smaller pieces. You want to pound these very thin with a meat tenderizer. I don't have one, so what I'm going to do is double up like a freezer bag and then hit it with, I don't know, like a can or something. I can't remember what I normally use. You need a little bit of flour, some butter, black pepper, garlic. Calls for seasoning salt, but I don't have that. I don't use it. I just always use this. Some pecans. I use reduced sodium chicken broth so that it's not salty. Olive oil, some honey, and some salt. So I pounded my chicken thin. You can do it thinner than this. Like I said, this is 3 chicken breasts that I cut up into mostly just in half. That's just about the size we like. So the next thing you want to do is get your pan hot. I like to put mine on medium to low heat the majority of the time I'm cooking. Coat it with some olive oil. I don't go by measurements on a lot of recipes, and on things like this, it's honestly not that big of a deal unless you're trying to watch your nutrition or your calories or something. The next thing you want to do is get a plate or a bowl. We have these little pasta bowls I love using for cooking. And add a few tablespoons of flour to your plate or bowl. We're going to do about 5 tablespoons here. Next up, you want to season your chicken with your seasoning salt. I don't use like the Lowry's seasoning salt. Like I said, I'm using the Tony's. So I'm just going to shake this all over and be sure that I coat all sides of the chicken. Okay, now that I've got my chicken coated, I kick the heat up a little bit because you want this to actually sizzle and sear your chicken, and I don't think we're quite there yet. I'm going to test with a little flour. Yeah, it's not hot. So I hope y'all can see me. I'm having kind of an awkward time getting my camera angle right, but I've set up like a little dredging station. You want your meat to flour to oil, and then you want to sear on each side until it's golden brown, and then you want to remove from the heat and put it on either a plate or a wire like cooling rack. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I don't know where I was going with that. So it took me a little longer to coat the chicken in the flour since I was using smaller dishes and trying not to make a mess. So I had to move my pan off of the heat for a little bit. You don't want your oil to smoke or it will leave a burnt taste in your food. So I did remove it from the heat for a minute or two and then put it back. Also, as you're cooking, if it looks like there's not enough oil in the pan, don't be scared to add a little bit. You don't want to cook in an empty pan because your meat won't get brown and it will stick. So you will see me pour in a little extra olive oil here and there. And of course, in between batches of chicken, if you're like me and have a smaller pan, you're going to have to add a little bit more. This is what it should look like. It should be browned on each side and cooked through, and then you want to just let it rest with foil, or I'm using a lid over it. If you have a big enough pan, you can do it all at once. I don't, so I'm about to do my second pan. So I realized I actually started cooking early. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but I'm going to go ahead and get my side going. This is super basic. It's not really a recipe. I guess it's more of like an idea. So I have 3 sweet potatoes that I sliced into a little bit smaller than about 1/2 inch rounds. And I like to do like a shortcut with cooking potatoes because I don't like to wait the full time for them to roast usually. So I get them halfway cooked in the microwave. Normally I just pour a little bit of water onto the plate so that they steam. Apparently everything that I needed today needed to be chopped or pounded, and I forgot about it. So I'm going to crush these pecan halves up into pieces with my handy dandy crusher here. So my pecans are chopped, and then it calls for 1/4 cup of honey. I'm just using this 1/3 cup where it doesn't bubble over. And once your chicken is done cooking, you want to save this pan. This is called your fond. And I like to use a cookie spatula thing because you're going to scrape this loose. And you're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter to this. Next, you're gonna add your pecans directly into this mixture and cook on low heat until they're fragrant. You also want to add your garlic. I do about one teaspoon of this into the pan. So the potatoes are done steaming. I'm actually going to do these in the air fryer. So in the bottom of my air fryer, I just make like a little tin foil bowl and then put a little bit of olive oil. Okay, so I want to crack a little bit of sea salt onto here where it'll stick on the bottom. Y'all have to excuse Willow. She's also cooking in her kitchen right now. And then add your potatoes. Usually I do one layer and then season, and then the other layer and then season. A little bit more salt, not a lot. Some pepper. Some paprika. A little bit of onion powder. Tiny drizzle of oil. I actually have a sprayer I normally use, and I didn't grab it. And then add the rest. You can also do this on a sheet pan. It's actually a lot easier, but I really don't want to heat the house up right now because it's 90 degrees in Louisiana. I'm also going to add a little bit of cinnamon because when I do, just like we have the kind of sweet chicken, the cinnamon just pairs good. And I will have to update how long I cook these. I pretty much always cook everything on 400 on mine. I'm going to start out with 15 minutes. Once your garlic and pecans have started to like be fragrant and maybe just like a little bit of a sizzle is heard, you want to add your chicken broth. I'm going to use half of the can. I think it actually just called for like a third of a cup or something, but I'm going to do half a can. Once your pecans and garlic have become fragrant and started to kind of sizzle, you want to add your chicken broth. I did half of this can. You can follow the recipe in the description. And then I also add my honey into this and then just slowly mix it together as it heats. You're going to kind of thicken this sauce up. And I was trying to be all fancy and give y'all multiple angles, but my camera didn't want to cooperate. Then once you've mixed that together, you're going to add your ground black pepper to this. You could also use crushed red pepper. That would be really good, but of course that's going to add some additional heat. But we actually ended up liking this, being a little more peppery at the end. I'll show you how we ate it. And then I use sea salt in this. You can use regular salt. I just added a little bit, tasted it, made sure it didn't need a little bit more. And if it does, just add a little bit more. Can't really go wrong. Just do a little at a time. About halfway through cooking the sweet potatoes, I did give them a toss and make sure that they didn't need an extra coat of oil or anything, and they were okay. I just mixed them up a little bit and put them back in the air fryer. Total time was 28 minutes or so at about 400 degrees. As I mentioned earlier, you could roast the potatoes in your oven on a sheet pan, and it would probably take about the same amount of time. So after the potatoes were done, the sauce was almost done. You're reducing this down until it thickens. Then you're going to pour this over your chicken. And this was just so satisfying. I had to slow it down. Well, y'all could really appreciate how pretty this looked. I love this meal, and I don't know why I've never realized it's a very fall-like meal. So I thought it was perfect for this collaboration video. This would also be really good paired with like a salad, maybe a fall-inspired salad. I know I've been kind of doing a lot of those lately. We just had it with the sweet potatoes. I thought that was a good combination, and I think the last time I made this, I served it with some coconut rice or something. I remember it was something kind of different, but we really liked it. My husband's pretty picky, and he actually always says this is really good every time I make it. Thank y'all so much for watching this vlog. Let me know if you try out these recipes. Please go check the other ladies' videos out in this group collaboration. I'll have the link for the playlist down in the comments and the description. Let them know you're linking over from my channel, and also if you're linking over from their channels, please comment and introduce yourself. I was so excited to do this and excited that we had a decent amount of people actually participate. So very fun watching our YouTube audience grow and exchanging recipes, especially closer to the holidays. This gives us all some ideas. Remember to subscribe and have your notifications turned on. Hopefully going to be sharing a lot of holiday content here in the next 2 months or so. So I will see you guys on Sunday at 5 p.m. Bye.